Hey guys, welcome back to the Markout Network. I am Neal Pretty Boy Thomas here with
your boy Cordell, aka Smoke.
Hey, Dean Walker here.
That's funny. That's funny. What are you drinking there, Dean?
Oh, I got me some Ghost Sour Patch Red Berry. Not sponsored.
And it looks like you're also eating Sour Patch gummies.
Don't worry, I got my prime bottle right here, man. This one's Meta Moon.
The kids love it.
Tastes like mystery flavor for Airheads.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Can you not pinpoint what the actual flavor is?
Is it a raspberry feel?
Yeah, you know, it's called Meta Moon, but I feel like it's more Mystery Moon, if you know what I mean. No.
Usually mystery flavor is a berry flavor.
It just tastes all right, you know? Here, let me
Do you not like it? You don't seem too crazy about it.
I mean, it's one of my favorite flavors.
Oh, okay.
Advertising.
We have a new belt.
Yes.
Yes, we do. We have a new WWE Universal Undisputed Championship, whatever it's called. Yeah. I don't even know the name of it.
Do you know those guys who have like 6 names and you go, "Wow, their their license must be just huge."
What people do you know with 6 names?
That's neither here nor there. You know the motherfuckers with like 5 middle names, you know? That's how I feel about the WWE Universal Undisputed Heavyweight Championship. What the fuck is that?
Yep, that's what it is.
That's a mouthful. You got to take a breath.
Say that one more time.
I'm going to get the name right. The WWE. Hold on. I'm going to look it up right now.
Okay. Go ahead.
Just say it one more time for us.
I'm going to. All right. The new Undisputed WWE Universal Championship belt.
Yes.
Wow.
That's a lot.
What about the WWE Championship? What happened to that, you know?
So let's talk about this. So Roman Reigns celebrating his 1,000th day as champion, Universal Heavyweight Champion, not WWE Champion, but obviously on Friday Night SmackDown, they made a huge deal of it. It got tons of views. The rating was really high. We don't talk about ratings on the show because nobody gives a shit, but we can't acknowledge the fact that Roman Reigns, despite how many times he wrestles during the year, is a draw. He brings in the people. He brings in the masses. People still care about the Bloodline storyline, even though it's kind of tapered off and it's kind of went downhill a little bit after WrestleMania, but it seems like it's kind of picking up again. And were you guys not invested into what was going on SmackDown?
I was invested, but I wanted to see what this new chapter would bring after us witnessing what we did, at the last pay-per-view. And I was actually surprised to see Jimmy be the one to actually bring us into this new direction of the storyline.
Yeah.
Very surprised because Jimmy to me is the one who took the backseat the most.
He took a backseat for like 6 months.
Backseat for like 6 months, and that we all thought it was going to be Jay, and Jay is the one that seems like he's confused, which is like, how confused can you be when everything's been put in motion for like months now? And so it's like, I don't know, man. I was remember when we had to talk about why Roman won at WrestleMania?
Yes.
And I told you they were afraid to let this go.
Mm-hmm.
And this, I think, Friday Night SmackDown was proof of them not wanting to let that go because it's a draw-in.
Yeah.
He's a draw-in. The storyline is a big draw-in. And I think people just love to see it.
All right, so let's talk about what actually got us here in the first place. So Roman Reigns celebrating his 1,000th day as champion. Now, Triple H comes out. We see a new belt reveal. What were your expectations when that little, I don't know, I was going to say curtain, but curtain's really not the word. The unveiling of the championship. What were your expectations for this new championship? What did you guys have in your mind? Because everybody had an idea of what the championship was going to look like for Roman Reigns. What did you actually think it was going to look like?
Zero expectations.
So my expectations were higher because the Seth Rollins World Heavyweight Championship belt, I still hate that belt. I do not like it, and I'm not going to be convinced why it's a good-looking title. But to me, the championship that they unveiled, this mustard yellow kind of piss golden color that I don't really know what to even make of it. It's basically the same WWE championship painted a different color. Now, there's people online that are trying to defend it like, well, Roman will make you look good. That's not an excuse. The title by itself should look good. if it's a real heavyweight championship. To me, it looks like garbage, and to me, it's just this word has been becoming very common when it's describing this belt. Lazy. It's a lazy fucking title. You're talking about Roman Reigns. Apparently, the GOAT is only good enough for a color change, right? That to me, that's very odd. Literally, you have the Raw Women's Champion, the SmackDown Women's Champion, and then you have the WWE title and this Undisputed title. They're all the same, just different color.
Yeah.
Why can't they differentiate the titles?
You know, it's funny because somebody actually posted a picture on Twitter of, I want to say it was back in 2011. And it was like all of the champions in one picture. You had Beth Phoenix, Kofi Kingston, and
Zack Ryder,
and,
woo woo.
And Zack Ryder. And it was all of their belts were uniquely different. Every single one.
They were.
Everyone's was
Now, granted, they were different. Now, you can make the case some of them weren't as attractive as others, but they were different.
That's not the point, but they were different.
They were different.
They were different.
Now, they have this generic flavor to them. They don't look like world championship belts. They look like, I need to buy my cousin a championship belt for his birthday. I'm about to go to Walmart.
Your little cousin.
Yeah, your little cousin who likes wrestling. I'm about to pick up this Walmart belt for like $20 or whatever. That's what these titles look like now. Granted, they have to make a bunch of them, but to me, they don't look like world heavyweight championships, a la like the new IWGP championship, the AW championship. Shit, man, I've seen belts on the indies that look better. And we're talking about a fraction of the budget of WWE. And the fact that we're even talking about a title of this magnitude for this guy, quote unquote, the GOAT, greatest of all time, in this regard, speaks volumes of how things can actually be run in WWE, and they're not as smart as we think they are, and the creative direction that they're going to go in. Because to me, this title, I'm hoping it's only a title that's only for Roman. It's not going to be for anybody else. This is only his deal, and we're calling it the Undisputed title. How can it be the Undisputed title? Undisputed heavyweight champion in boxing was one guy. Mike Tyson, the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world. Muhammad Ali, there was one champion. George Foreman, there was one champion. Roman Reigns supposed to be the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world, but he's not because Seth is the champion in the same quote-unquote regard as Roman Reigns. So they have to ditch the undisputed part, and then they have to just make it the WWE Championship again. Just nix the Universal Championship. He got his 1,000 days. Ditch it. Make the WWE Champion again. And just call it a day. Just call it a day. Because this undisputed thing does not logically make sense because you're supposed to be the only one, but Seth's on the other show, right? Am I right? Mm-hmm. What about that? Does that make sense? Just ditch the undisputed part? What do you think about that, Dean?
I mean, I see where they're going with it, with the whole Universal and the WWE, and then they brought back the world title. And obviously the world title is just to kind of replace the Universal, but instead of just calling it the WWE Championship and the World Championship like we're used to, they were like, well, if we ditch the Universal, we're going to ditch Roman's legacy that he's built with it. So they kind of had to just call it a day, call it the Undisputed belt, because they merged the two. Mm-hmm. And then the third one, technically, is now the second one. So you have the Undisputed and then the World title, which is fine, but I can see in probably like 3 years, like they do all the time, they're going to ditch the Undisputed name anyway. They always do that. They've done it how many times now,
They do it every few.
Like Randy Orton, he was the Undisputed champion.
Chris Jericho was when they merged the titles, the old World Heavyweight title from WCW and the WWE title. Yeah. And then it was the Undisputed title when, like, I think Undertaker, the Eddie Guerrero belt? Remember that championship? It was the Undisputed title for like Undertaker and Brock Lesnar. Yeah. I think at the time, it was a long time ago, but I think that's what happened.
They do it until they think we're going to forget about it.
I just want to know the lineage of the title. So it's one championship representing both WWE and the Universal title. Is that what we're doing? Because I looked on WWE.com and it still had him, the old render of him holding both belts, and it still had the days mark of him WWE champion and him the Universal champion. They're going to keep that Universal champion number is because they want him to break Hogan's record. They want him to have the all-time length for, well, he's going to break Hulk Hogan's record. He probably won't break Bruno Sammartino's record, but they're going to separate him like that. So it's two championship represented with one title now. This is, man, the mental energy trying to figure this fucking thing out, man, is crazy.
Especially, like you said, looking through the history, what counts for what for history? You know what I'm saying? Like, if you win that championship, are you on both title histories? of the winners, or is it a separate category? You are the second undisputed champion after Roman. That makes no sense.
Oh, you're saying if
Oh yeah, I see what you're saying.
Oh,
yeah.
so if
are you going to
see
be
what
put
you're
down as
saying,
WWE
yeah.
and Universal,
And Universal,
separately
or-
in those two
oh,
categories?
so you're saying if Cody Rhodes beats him at SummerSlam,
Right.
like where does it
Where does that tie in?
Where does it leave off from that point forward?
Yeah, when
Like,
you look
I
at
don't
the
know.
history on the websites somewhere, right, and you go, oh well, this person is the second undisputed champion. Roman was the first, or are we counting this as two separate into one? It's confusing. It makes no sense. I don't like the undisputed shit. It's not my thing.
I don't.
think they should have just said, "Hey, Roman, congrats on the 1,000 days. Let's." Nobody, and he can even put himself over. He doesn't have to destroy the title's legacy, quote unquote, right? Fantasy booking here, he could have said, either him or someone else could have been like, Roman, you are going to go down as the greatest champion ever for the Universal title.
Mm-hmm.
You've had it so many times. You've held it for so many days.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to retire that championship. And you're going to hold that legacy. You're going to be the last one to ever hold it. And it's just going to be the WWE for now. And then you have the WWE and the world title like we used to. They don't have to make it undisputed.
That don't sound too bad.
No, I'm on board with that too
bad.
because
And then when they unveil the new title, it doesn't look like shit.
yeah,
Just an idea.
get rid of the Universal title, him being the last one. Belts come and go anyways.
They do.
So it's not like it has to go on forever. Universal title was created in 2016. It's not like it has a 50-year history.
Belts-
you know what I'm
right.
saying?
Belts come and
It's
go
only
all
been
the
like
time.
it's only been like 7 years of history.
Belts come and go all the time, and who's to say, like, people who get offended when certain belts go away for a while, they come back in like another 7 years and thinking that WWE is heading in another new direction. No, they had that belt like 10 years ago.
Now, what do you guys think about? Okay, belts aside, because talking about this fucking title, man, is making me.
It's not like they're going to change it because we don't like it.
No, of course
and it
not.
doesn't look. I'm not going to lie. It doesn't look awful.
Yeah.
But they just need to. Obviously, if they're not going to do more with the design, at least make the gold.
Zero effort.
The gold looks fake. It looks like a fake plated gold.
It's
right?
because of the color they chose to use.
It's too dark.
Yeah.
If they lightened it up, then fine, whatever. Run with the same design. I wish there was a different design, but fine. But it just doesn't look right.
Do you think
Especially with the lighting.
he had a say so in how this belt looked?
No, wrestlers
No.
do not have say so in titles. No,
Not anymore.
Not
No.
anymore.
Not since the Broken Skull. Not since the Brahma Bull title. Is that what it's called? What's
yeah, it was
called?
Brahma Bull, Broken Skull.
Maybe
Maybe
not
you-
since then.
You guys think?
Or the Fiend title, right?
What about John Cena? Do you have a say so in the spinner belt?
Yeah, probably.
I think so. It went with
Yeah.
his brand.
You think
Yeah.
WWE would create something like that?
Or,
They're not cool enough for that.
Oh, you think it was his idea?
Yeah,
Did he say?
I think so.
Did John Cena ever say that?
I don't know. But WWE is kind of they make very lame ideas.
They're very cringy.
They wouldn't
Yeah.
be too
Yeah.
hip like that.
No.
No,
I think
but if
Cena
it his-
really popped. With it.
If it fit his brand, and I think they hit the nail on the head with that one.
Oh, they did.
Naomi had the glow belt.
Okay.
And I remember her saying that was actually a replica. She actually had to she couldn't even take the actual women's title home.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and
Okay.
have them redo that. So
Okay, that's fine. I think going forward with the Bloodline storyline with Jimmy, I'm actually extremely surprised in his actions on SmackDown because I didn't think this was in him. I thought he was going to be a forever background character, and it's funny to see Jay coming in between Jimmy and Roman, right?
yeah.
Now, did you guys believe the part where Solo was like, man, these two, they're my brother. I acknowledge you, Tribal Chief, but these two are my brothers. And he walked to the side of Jimmy and Jay, and everybody's like, yeah, Jimmy was like, what are you going to do now, Roman? We can run this. Just don't be so crazy, man.
Nah.
This is what we're going to do. And then Solo's like, nah, I'm going to side with Roman. I'm going to side the Tribal Chief. Solo turns on his own brothers to side with the Tribal Chief, and I want to know why. Can anybody explain that to me?
Mm-hmm.
Why do you think he chose Roman over his own brothers?
Position of power.
So he's closer to a power position with Roman than he would be to the Usos.
Solo has the social climb.
You talking Solo or Jay?
I'm talking about Solo. Why did Solo side with Roman and not his brothers?
I think kind of what Cordell was saying, but I feel like he's playing it close so that when
The time is
Roman feels like, you know what, we got this. That's when Solo's going to turn and he's going to take that belt. Well, he's going to attempt, right? He's got to play it smart, got to, be friends with the enemy, right? I don't know.
Keep
keep
your friends close, enemies closer.
I think that'd be a great turn. Because Solo they're already slowly building up. I know you guys said it wasn't that big of a deal, but I think that shove is a really big deal. I think that's the seed, and it's going to grow.
I said it was a
you
big
said
deal.
right?
Yeah.
I think it's the seed, and it's going to be played back in 2 years, in a year, right? Where that's, it's going to happen, and then it's going to go gray. I think that's cool.
I wasn't surprised at all when Solo did that. I mean, Solo.
It was obvious as hell. He was going to spike punch him. Yeah.
Solo has always sided with Roman. He always stuck by Roman, close by, and then even when the Usos were kind of acting like a little funny, Solo would always just sit back, observe, and watch. Mm-hmm. And even if he didn't chime in or say nothing, it was just always standing back, watching. And I can tell if things went left, he's riding with his boy.
So Solo's always going to be with Roman Reigns because if you remember too, Solo was on the Sami Zayn train, right? But that was only because Roman was cool with him at the time. And then when Roman was souring on him, Roman said he pulled the trigger like Solo, and then spike punch, right?
Solo did what needed to be done.
Yeah, he needed to do what needed to be done. I just find it fascinating that Solo would go against his brothers, and you said it's a power play. He would rather be along the side of the devil than against him, right?
Yeah. He wants to see what it's like being with the devil he knows than being on his own.
And it's going to backfire.
It is tremendously.
It's going to backfire greatly. He had a chance to go with his brothers, we'll ride or die together, and then just be riding off to the sunset and let Roman Reigns be on himself. But he chose the greater of two evils, I guess.
Can I be honest with you? Career-wise, I think it was smart.
It was smart. Now you could see more chapters being
They keep
unveiled.
adding layers. They keep adding layers.
Right now we're in the Jimmy chapter / Solo chapter. Now we had the Sami Zayn KO chapter prior to WrestleMania and a little bit afterwards. So we're entering it like a different phase.
I kind of like it though because I feel like if we had like you said, we had the Roman chapter, the Jay chapter, Sami Zayn chapter, Solo being added into the mix, and now Jimmy's kind of getting his. You really get enough. Every character is getting a full circle story told.
Yeah, of course. What do you guys seeing this playing out for Money in the Bank?
Ooh, early predictions or
Go for it. Let's do it.
early predictions?
Yep.
Well, let me see. I got it pulled up just in case we talked about it.
I'm talking about specifically this match, or a potential match of Roman Reigns Solo versus the Usos.
Honestly, clearly there's going to be a match between the two. Can I be honest with you guys? I get the feeling that Solo and Roman.
I don't want to be lied to.
Solo and Roman going to be on top. I think they have to exert and show their dominance as them as a team.
Oh, of course.
So they're going to make sure they come out on top against Jimmy and Jay.
I kind of see him as a power bottom.
Well, what?
Huh?
See him as what?
Nothing. No, I think you're right. I think they're going to be on top. Is what I'm saying.
We'll edit that in post.
What are you talking about?
I'm so confused about what that was.
We'll edit that in post.
It's a wrestling term.
I don't think it is.
It's something.
What are you actually looking at over there?
Right. What terms are you looking up?
What are you guys talking about?
I mean, I know it's June, but
by the way, this guy doesn't have an internet search history. That is wild to me.
It is.
It was oddly erased right before we did this video.
I'm almost Amish. I don't use.
I know. It's like, do you even know how to operate
I
that?
asked him if I could see his trash bin in his recently deleted history. He won't let me.
I only recycle, so I don't.
Yeah.
I don't even have a trash bin. I gotta save the planet.
Oh, I'm sorry,
wild, man.
recycling bin.
You know
you're dealing with the liar when they start using your terminology against you.
Yeah. Let me read off the
porn.
names. I want some early predictions for the Money in the Bank.
How early?
Super early. I like the jumping.
Oh, we're talking about early Money in the Bank predictions already? All right, let's go for it.
We are. All right, ready? So we got Ricochet.
Yes.
We got Shinsuke.
Yes.
And then it stops rhyming after that. But
yeah.
Then we got
LA Knight. Yes.
We got Santos. Or Mustafa.
Mustafa Ali.
Yeah. And then we've got Butch or Corbin. Who do you guys think will be in that?
Butch.
Oh, wait. Do you think Escobar is probably going to beat Ali, right? Yep. Okay. Matt Riddle or TBA. Do you think TBA is going to defeat Riddle? TBA has been going up and up.
He's really over.
So
He's really over with the crowd.
yeah,
To be announced.
all the way up there. You know?
To be announced. They're gonna put fucking Riddle in this Money in the Bank, aren't they?
They are.
God
they are.
damn it.
Is it bad that I'm not? I'm slowly not. I'm slowly losing interest in this dude.
Me too.
Me too. I
Like
didn't have interest in him.
It's like he's probably like that one uncle, and you're like,
You guys find him annoying?
yeah, that's what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
Like he's that one uncle, and you like he's such a tryhard. Like you want to fit in so bad.
He does.
All right. Who do you think's gonna win the match?
I want Dominic Mysterio to win.
Still?
Me too.
I saw your tweet.
I want Dominic. God
Yeah.
damn it.
I saw your tweet.
I want Dominic Mysterio.
We gotta start because the bloodline is
Is it 'cause of
starting
that joke
to
we
go
made?
away. Yes. But
Remember, I had a year ago, I was like, hey, this is a crazy idea. What if Sami Zayn was the one to defeat Roman? He almost fucking did it. He almost did it when he walked into that locker room a year ago. He almost ended up defeating him, and everybody thought it was fucking crazy, right?
I mean, there's no.
don't mind me and my.
Just
candy
keep talking,
bar.
man. We're good.
Okay, all right,
I want Dominic Mysterio to win.
There's no Judgment Day members here, so maybe Dominic will be the one.
Ooh. How about this?
The one.
TBA. Dominic
Defeats Riddle,
via interference,
right? Of course.
obviously.
All right.
This is I'm putting my booking hat right now.
I like the hat.
Yeah, thanks. This is what I want to happen, and this is what should happen because I think my reasoning is more logical than WWE.
Okay.
Dominic Mysterio winning the Money in the Bank, right?
Mm-hmm.
Nuclear heat like you would not believe. We're talking about Don Callis, Takeshita heat from AEW, cannot even get a word out. We're not talking about piped in crowd noise here. We're talking about legitimate heat.
He gets a good reaction.
Yeah,
so
He
does.
gets a great reaction.
Can you imagine the show ending on that note with him? Just
the little smile when he holds it up.
and people, the kids going like,
I can't believe it. Oh, and then him on the shoulders of Rhea Ripley at the end.
Rhea Ripley.
Oh, come on, man.
Not on the shoulders. She got to carry him on her back. You know, he like to hang on her back, man. Her hip, the side of her hip.
Just imagine this.
Piggybacking him?
Somehow he's in a last chance qualifier, right? You're like, he ain't going to get in. He ends up getting in, wins Money in the Bank. Now, we all love LA Knight, right? LA Knight, he's the odds-on favorite.
Oh, shit.
LA Knight gets screwed over in the match because Judgment Day ends up helping Dominic win.
Like LA Knight's right about to grab it, right?
Yep. And then Finn or Priest, somebody pull him down. And then Rhea, how about this? Even better. Rhea has Dominic on her shoulders. She's walking him up the ladder to grab the briefcase.
Like he's.
Are you kidding me?
You're trying to have the people riot.
Are you kidding me? You're telling me that wouldn't be the greatest? Oh my God,
I
he's
can
gonna
already
do
see
it.
the promo. Thank you, mommy. Thank you.
Thank you, mommy. That would be the greatest Money in the Bank of all time.
Where are the Money in the Bank?
That would,
winners?
and that not only would that help elevate Judgment Day, Dom,
Everybody.
That would bring Judgment Day in the whole. Rhea Ripley.
It'd be funny as hell.
It would be fantastic. And now the reason I mentioned LA Knight is because everybody wants him to win. They're pining for him to win. Now he can feud afterwards. He's going to come out to the Judgment Day and say, Dominic, you needed everybody and their mommy to come out and help you. I want a shot at the briefcase. I want to be Money in the Bank winner because I was screwed out of the opportunity. And then he challenges Dom. Obviously, Dom's going to be like, I don't have no reason to challenge you, but he's going to be pestering and pestering and pestering. He's going to have to work his way up all through Judgment Day, finally get to Dominic, and then he agrees on the match because after he's got to wrestle eventually, and that's what he's going to have to do. Now, who wins that? I'll say probably LA Knight gets the briefcase back.
I was going to say Dom should win.
But
Again.
I'm open to the idea of Dom winning too. But I think Dominic winning the Money in the Bank briefcase, he can post pictures of little Polaroids of him and Rhea on all these little adventures on the briefcase. Oh, I know Rhea doesn't do kind of like provocative like shoots, but just imagine the photo shoots with the briefcase with Rhea and Dominic. There's a lot of possibilities here, man. You're talking about, it's LA Knight winning. That's cool, man. That's cool. I love LA Knight to death.
But you need a little bit of controversy.
Dominic Mysterio would be a 10 out of 10 for me just because of the amount of hate he fucking gets. And I can't believe I'm saying it because a year ago I was saying this guy got to go back down to NXT. Right? But I'm going by the crowd reaction of how much he can't even cut a promo. He can't say one fucking word. And him holding that Money in the Bank would be fucking money.
No pun intended.
There you go. That's
pun intended.
That's my long-winded rant about Dominic Mysterio winning the Money in the Bank briefcase, and I think a lot of people would hate it initially, but I'm thinking they would end up loving it.
They would.
I mean, you thought Edge had heat when he had it? Nah.
It'll definitely be
not compared to Dom.
Not compared to him. I think it'll be
nothing compared to Dom.
Yeah.
That's
okay. Well, let's transition into the women's. We got Vega, we got Natalya or Stark. Who do you think will be in that one? Natalya or Stark? Probably Stark.
Stark, 100%.
Due to the,
Trish.
Yeah.
Thing.
Lynch or DeVille?
I'm gonna say Becky Lynch.
Okay.
Becky and Stark are gonna be in the Money in the Bank.
Mia Yim or Bailey?
Bailey. That next one's easy.
Are you sure these people won't have like Becky Lynch, like Bailey? Are you sure they're gonna be in it, or they're gonna lose and then have like an actual match? Are you sure they're gonna be in it?
No, because Becky's gonna probably go against Trish again in Money in the Bank. Oh no.
This is the start.
Well,
no.
I don't know. That's a tough one too, because you figure they might have a one-on-one match. One of them you would think is going to lose or not qualify or screw somebody else out of it. But I think at this point,
I think Bailey needs this more.
Bailey, needs it more.
I can see Bailey in this, Lynch doing the rematch, but then Stark will be in the match so that after Lynch defeats Trish one-on-one,
Becky can have her cost her the match.
Yeah, so Becky will defeat Trish one-on-one, and then later on in this match, or earlier, whichever, Becky's going to cost Zoe Stark the Money in the Bank briefcase.
Okay, so you're saying, all right, so right now Becky doesn't get in Money in the Bank, and so it'll end up being Becky and then Trish one-on-one.
Yeah, because I think
Money in the Bank,
when Becky's going to go against Sonya, right, we're all going to be like, that's an easy match. I mean, Becky's obviously the number one person here. And then you're going to have Trish and you're going to have Zoe Stark interfere, cost her the match. They're going to have a rematch.
Yeah.
And then she's going to interfere with Zoe Stark's Money in the Bank win to make her lose. Yeah, that makes sense. I can see it.
Somebody's going to cost somebody something.
Yeah.
So when Becky wins against Trish, she will have a match against Zoe Stark at SummerSlam?
I think we're going to have a trilogy here between Becky and Trish.
Like we're seeing with Brock and Cody
so
Rhodes,
I think it's going to be Becky and Trish at Money in the Bank, and then they're going to do it one more time at SummerSlam, because I know Smokey asked this before. Is Trish going to be week in and week out? Yes, she is. Mm-hmm. She's going to be there the whole summer. Maybe it's just a summertime thing. Maybe she's doing this until SummerSlam, and then we'll be off riding into the sunset, win, lose, or draw. But yes, I do think Becky, Trish at Money in the Bank. Zoe gets in, but ends up getting caught. Becky interferes, costing Zoe the Money in the Bank briefcase. And I think eventually it's going to be Io Sky. Io Sky's the only winner here, right?
Wow, that's funny. I was going to say the same thing.
Io Sky is the only winner here.
Because we didn't finish yet, but Shotzi or Io versus
Shotzi
versus TBD. So when I was looking at this list, I'm like, I'm gonna go with Io.
You guys remember what happened to Shotzi last year at Money in the Bank?
It was not her best.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
But I think she's progressed.
Okay.
And
when you mean by progressed, what do you actually mean?
She hasn't botched as bad.
She's rarely on TV though.
She hasn't botched as bad.
Fair point. Fair point. Listen, hey, we'll go on record here. We love Shotzi.
We actually do.
We actually like her. We root for her so fucking hard.
He and I root for her the most.
We do. We do. We root for her all the time.
We know she can do so much better. I prefer NXT Shotzi with Ember Moon, but days are gone.
Yeah, that's not going to happen again. So, Dean, you're going with Io Sky. This is an easy win, man. Io Sky. Smoke, you're going with Io Sky and Money in the Bank. There is no other winner. Selena Vega.
No.
I love their newfound enthusiasm and confidence right now, but it's not going to happen. I'm sorry.
I mean, we always can have good old Sergeant Lacey Evans.
Lacey Evans, good Lord,
she
man.
just lost to Zelina.
Oh, Zelina
Vega
for the briefcase.
For the briefcase spot.
Hey, hey, Dean, let's. Did you see her hat, Lacey Evans? Did you see that cobra on that hat?
Yeah.
Lacey Evans. What?
I thought it was a pretty funny joke you made about the hat should be red. That was pretty good.
Yeah, Lacey.
That was pretty good. I saw it on Twitter.
Lacey, it's the wrong color, by the way.
Yeah, that's pretty
My
funny.
God. Smoke, I know you're a big Lacey Evans fan.
Oh, am I?
What does she need to do to finally get over? Because we're trying to figure it out. We can't.
Well, there's a lot of people also, not to cut you off, there's a lot of people also on Instagram and Twitter saying she's boring, one, but two, she made those comments about autism. Why is she still there? You know?
I ain't gonna fight that one.
And
She said
"Good
what she
point."
said.
I don't feel like
She said what she said.
I don't feel like she. I mean,
Meant
she
to-
didn't
meant-
really. People did because you know when people do this thing
When you
where
talk
they
about health issues or mental health issues, and if you're not a doctor or a professional in that
you
background,
should keep your opinion to yourself.
It's one thing to have an opinion on a wrestling match, who's better, who's great, whatever. Everybody does that. But when you're talking about mental health and conditions like that, you got to be careful what you say because people will jump on you fucking quick.
And it's unfortunate.
She is not a doctor. She is not. So you have to be careful what you're saying.
And it's unfortunate because it's like one of those situations where you can say something like, you be like, this is why you got. I've seen two people arguing and they be like, this is why you got 2 baby daddies. And she be like, did you just talk about my kids? And you be like, wait, what? And then they're like I've seen that stuff. I don't think she directly spoke on anybody with autism in a negative way, but she was misinformed on information she wasn't too sure about.
Yeah,
and she should have just kept it to herself.
Yes.
And that's why the heat is so big on her.
And I know you're saying too, like you have to keep it to yourself. Now, when you're a public figure, right? We're not at the level of a Lacey Evans. We're not claiming to be, but when you tweet out something, when you say something public, that you need to really be careful on your words because people they will call out you really quick, and people that do have autism or do have some conditions or know people that have these conditions, they deal with that daily. They get highly offended because they know what it is in the day in and day out in the struggle that it is. So it's just like you have to be careful. She's not an educated medical professional. She has to be careful. But my point being is this: ever since that point, her career hasn't been on the upswing.
It was beforehand.
Southern Belle Lacey Evans was that which she was gonna ride that thing until she became champion. She was on the verge of becoming champion. Now it's been a long time since then. She's come back. They try to rebrand her. They did these military vignettes of her reinventing herself and all that. Let me tell you this right now. It's 2023. Nobody gives a flying fuck about no patriotic shit. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. No. I don't see it. This is not Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
I'm trying to say this because
but now also in 2023,
my shoes.
There you go.
Inadvertently, if you have the American flag on you whatsoever, people are just like, "Oh, this guy's racist," right? It happens a lot, you know.
Because it comes with that look, that camo look, I prefer gun.
That kind of,
you know what I mean. Before
stuff. So I think doing this type of gimmick nowadays, people are gonna look at it kind of weird. You know what I'm saying?
Like he said, nobody cares about it anymore.
Nobody cares, but also like
to me, you know what?
It just looks like.
You're racist.
You can be you can be patriotic. I don't care about that, but using it as a gimmick, it's fucking lazy.
Or Lacey, am I right?
Because think about it, Cody Rhodes comes out. I'm sorry. Cody Rhodes comes out hold on.
Dean, your point. Go ahead, Smoke.
Cody Rhodes comes out in like stars, stripes, red, white, and blue all the time.
Nobody says that about him.
No one says a word.
True.
And I mean, come on, let's be honest.
It is about his dad, the American dream.
The American dream.
Yes. But it's not America.
But still, he has an American flag on his
that's true.
neck. And so it's like
that is true.
He represents
right on the neck.
I mean, honestly, if you really look
let's
at Cody,
be honest, he looks like Homelander.
If
you
look
like
at Cody Rhodes,
and we know how Homelander is.
Okay. If you look, to be honest with you, on like appearance wise, I would look at Cody Rhodes. Let me choose my words wisely. He doesn't look like a racist to me, but I'm saying like if you were to look and not know him or his home life. You would think.
You think he's red hat?
You would think he was a red hat. And then
we're not saying red hats are racist. I mean, Neal's wearing a red hat. He's a great guy.
We're saying,
thanks, man. I appreciate it.
We're saying certain red hats.
We're not. Well,
you guys are probably wondering.
We're
like,
also
red
not
hats.
saying,
red hats. What does that mean? This motherfucker's talking with a red hat on. We're not talking about this kind of red hat. We're talking about another kind of red hat.
Another kind of red hat.
See, now we're getting in. So
they honor a certain kind of man.
So certain, I would say.
Southerners.
But we're not.
This all coincides to the wrestling
Jesus.
thing that
I'm trying
Lacey
to pick
Evans
this up. Y'all just
projecting.
keep
This coincides with what Lacey Evans is trying to project.
Well, I just want to. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. So it's like Lacey Evans is projecting a certain image, this patriotic Sergeant Slaughter thing that does not work in today's wrestling environment.
And ashamed, and I want to say WWE should be ashamed for allowing her to do it, because anybody with common sense would tell her this does not work in this day and age.
You know why it doesn't work? She comes out to silence. There's your proof. It's not a matter of opinion that, oh, we don't like her, it doesn't work. No, she comes out to crickets. So therefore, your gimmick as a professional wrestler does not work. But when you come out, you get no reaction. That's a fact. So if she tried something else, if she goes back to the Southern Belle gimmick and starts, glad handing and kissing babies and all you nasties and stuff like that, hey, people might start warming up to her again. We like almost the 1940s bombshell thing, right? That worked for her. This does not, and you could tell it doesn't. And the fact that she's mediocre in the ring doesn't help her either. She doesn't blow you away. Yeah. Her matches are not memorable, and I'm not saying she's a bad, horrible person. I don't know her personally. This is just what I'm seeing from her wrestling gimmick standpoint. This is what she's portraying, and it's not working, and she needs to fix it. If she does not fix it, adios, sayonara, she's done.
It just doesn't feel like a real gimmick. It feels like she's playing... It looks like she picked a certain attire for the Tribute to the Troops show. You know what I'm saying? Or her mixed tag team partner is going to be Uncle Sam or some shit. Like, it just doesn't look realistic. It looks, I don't know, it's phony. It's almost as phony as when Cena tried to be a soldier on Raw. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, it just doesn't look right.
By the way, God rest my mom's soul, she thought John Cena was actually in the military.
So did I.
So I think we all did.
It was a crew cut. She was like, "Where did
Lacey
he serve
was,
at?"
Though, right?
She's a Marine.
Lacey did.
She is a Marine.
I believe her husband was too.
So
she was a Marine. Yes. So she's not playing. She's not being phony in that regard.
Yeah.
It's just the wrestling gimmick does not work, and I think she needs to fix it, or she's gonna be.
I mean, we do say
fired.
all the time, turn yourself up to 1,000, and that could be your perfect gimmick, but. Something about this just isn't working. So maybe find something else within herself to do a different gimmick.
And by the way, I don't want to sit here and classify Lacey Evans as a racist, because that's what I've been seeing on social media.
Oh, people have been saying that too?
Yeah, I mean, the woman is married to a whole Hispanic man with a half Hispanic child. I don't believe she's sitting around here trying to openly be racist, even regardless of what her political views may be.
But that's the problem with the attire. It looks bad.
It looks bad.
Nowadays, being patriotic looks bad.
It looks bad. And so it's like, I don't think she is. I just think that you were a fan favorite at one time.
Yeah.
A fan favorite who actually was getting opportunities in the title picture, and you got pregnant. Great. But then you came back and they switched it up on you. I feel like they set her up for failure, and they allowed her to set herself up for failure, because they should have told her when she pitched this idea, hey, we get it, you wanted to come back with a change, but not that one.
Yeah, if it worked, I mean, it's almost as dumb as Batista got over, right? Batista came back from an injury, and he had a Rey Mysterio mask on. Yeah. Makes no sense, does it?
It would be confusing. Nobody would understand. Yeah.
So if this gimmick worked, you can stick with the patriotic shit, fine, because it worked with the Southern Belle thing. That's obviously patriotic.
But we're not even talking about when she literally first came back. It was the sympathetic background story of her upbringing.
That was the trailer.
That was the nice version that you said.
That we got 8 weeks of.
Was that the trailer park thing?
I was trying not to say that, but he had some choice words for it.
It was. I'm trying to be nice, man. I'm trying to turn over a new leaf here, man. Like,
You're doing good, buddy. You're doing good.
It's a struggle for me.
You're doing good.
It's really a struggle. I'm trying to be a good guy. I'm on the cusp of a milestone here, and I'm trying to fucking mature, man. I really am.
You're doing all right.
I really am,
You're doing
right?
good.
So I'm choosing my words carefully, but, man, if you give me a reason to go off, I will, man. I really do. But I'm trying to be nice with Lacey Evans. She came back with the white trash thing. It did not work.
I thought you said you were trying to be nice.
Hey, it only was temporary.
He turned that page and went right back.
Yeah, right back.
Jesus it's Christ. My default.
He said, "Did I read that paragraph again?" Let me
he didn't even turn the page completely. You know.
I had to. It's my default setting.
That's right. It's all right.
So she comes back. It doesn't work. This is not working. Lacey Evans, good luck to you. You need a fucking miracle to ever get over, because this ain't gonna work out. Speaking of miracles, the women's tag team champions.
There we go.
Ronda Rousey, Shayna Baszler ended up winning on Monday Night Raw. What are we doing with these tag team titles? I'm already hearing rumors, seeing rumors, specific people. I don't know where this is coming from. They already might try to split up Baszler, Ronda Rousey. I hope that's not true. I hope that's some internet. Some guy fucking made it up in his mom's basement. We're literally in the basement right now, but this is this guy's house. So there you go. We're not in anybody's basement but his. So Ronda Rousey, Shayna Baszler.
Just in case y'all were wondering.
And it's my house. I don't live with my mom.
Yeah.
So this is a studio.
Yeah, this is a studio, goddammit.
It'll get better.
So Shayna Baszler and Ronda Rousey win the tag team titles. Are these tag team titles? Should they just? We're just gonna fucking burn them. Let's just burn them. Be done with it. End of story. Ronda Rousey said some pretty good points, saying the tag team division is basically on life support. It needs some kind of stimulation there, right, Dean?
That's the problem. There is no tag team division.
No,
they
there
throw
isn't.
random teams together and go for it. And we're like, we've never even seen them in a match before.
Have a conversation.
Or nothing. No backstage, nothing. I mean, there's nothing with these
You know
teams.
how you build a tag team division? I'm going to start with Natty, find a partner. That's how they've been doing it. Natty tagging up with anybody. Raquel.
Natty done had like 7.
It's almost like they're pulling out a hat. You know what I'm saying?
That's the tag team division. And my problem is every time we get a tag team champ, it seems now more recently, something bad happens. Liv Morgan got hurt. Dakota Kai got hurt. These tag team titles are cursed and need to be done away with.
Naomi and Trinity.
Some people left.
I'm sorry, Naomi.
And then the worst of it all, Mercedes and Trinity ends up leaving because of the questionable booking decisions that were going on, plus a lot more that was going on backstage.
Yeah.
And now one's in Impact and killing it.
And I know that hurts you to say, but she's actually helped boost the ratings. Actually,
Actually, that's a fact too. More people are more interested in Impact than in years.
I've actually see
man.
them pop up on my news feed for trending, and it's only because of her.
Yeah,
She's got a title shot against Perazo.
I'm fine saying I'm fine saying whatever about Impact. They try to big time me, but not responding to an email. But it's cool. Anywho,
some bitterness going on.
Okay.
well,
okay. So Ronda Rousey, Baszler, tag team champs.
I'm not the one who's in bankruptcy, but
okay, that's fair. That seems like a personal thing. You could talk
we'll
about
let
that.
you do that.
How many times they file
at a later time?
Probably a lot.
Where do we see the tag team division going from here? Or if any, is it going anywhere? Where do we see it? Do we think there's going to have a long title reign between Baszler and Rousey? Are they going to elevate the division? Because that's what Ronda Rousey said. She needs somebody to elevate the division. Is that going to happen? Yes or no?
Let me ask you something. First off, Ronda Rousey has like the worst relationship with the fans.
Yeah.
At this moment. But not worse than Lacey, but she has a terrible relationship with the fans.
It's
so
bad.
my thing
really
is
bad.
this, what are you going to elevate when no one is, unfortunately, really behind you already?
You can't.
And it's like, and I hate to say that because if you can do it, prove me wrong. I love eating my words. I love anybody who can prove me wrong.
And they taste delicious.
Yep.
Yeah.
Ronda Rousey said, "These nuts prove it."
But my thing is, the difference.
That's an image.
The difference with this is, I think Shayna Baszler has a bit more of a fan base than Ronda Rousey does. I think the fans have a little bit more respect for her than they did do Ronda, and I think that Shayna can help bring something. I'm trying, y'all.
It's a stretch.
Maybe
man.
it's a hot take.
A stretch.
It might be a hot take. I would rather see them be tag champs than anyone else right now.
Well, them being tag champs makes sense.
History.
Them being tag champs makes sense. And actually, what a lot of people probably don't remember is WWE at one point really wanted to set up the 4 horsewomen versus Ronda Rousey, Shayna Baszler, and I forget the other two who were there, who were all in MMA. And the other two,
the ones who were released, right?
The two were released. That's who they were setting that up.
Because they were in the crowd in NXT, right?
Yeah. They were setting that up for quite some time. And it's like the other two got released and then it never happened. So I think this is slowly what they wanted their version to be of that. And Ronda and Shayna could do it, but it's like they would have to terrorize the women on all brands, NXT, SmackDown, Raw, and it's like, in my opinion,
are they going to put that much effort into it? No,
but
they're not.
They won't. But to me, it's like, you create your storyline. Even if you aren't given one, try to go to creative and create something.
I feel like Ronda Rousey's fan base just disappeared. Like
I still like Rousey.
I like Rousey as a person.
But it's just But
you just said it, Smoke. Like, how is she supposed to elevate a division when she has nobody backing her and no support? Like, nobody
she
cares.
said that. She even said that herself. She said, we have no support.
So why
she
do we
seems
care
like she
then?
always has a low morale. And she's also kind of like the Lesnar of the women, right?
She is.
She has a little more personality, though.
Whoops ass for just a few minutes.
Yeah.
But WWE fans nowadays, well, I would say fans overall nowadays, they'd rather see, like we saw with JD McDonough and Dolph Ziggler, a hard-hitting match. Even though, it kind of ended the way it did. But it was a solid match. And those two can kill it. Because I think a lot of people nowadays, they really love the skill. You know what I'm saying? The skill within the match.
You can appreciate it, yeah.
They're starting to get back into that instead of just entertainment. Yeah.
Like if Kane debuted in 2024, right? I don't think he'd get over as much.
He would be a character like Kane, Abyss, and unfortunately Undertaker would not work in today's...
Because it's goofy.
It's not realistic. Because look where The Fiend went.
Yeah. That was
we got Blacklight now. Oh, no, that wasn't even The Fiend.
I did want to say, this doesn't have to be a conversation, but just because you brought it up, did you guys see the reports about Fiend, Bray, whatever, right? So the reports are saying, that they didn't like the Uncle Howdy thing. They wanted to nix it. But the thing is that Bray, he got hired back with full control of his character. I don't know if full control. I'm not sure. I'm not going to...
Didn't Vince want to bring the Fiend character back?
Yeah, he wanted to bring the Fiend character back. Bray Wyatt said, no, I want to continue with what I'm doing right now. And they said, all right, fine. So they just pulled the match, and then he was just off. And then injury, whatever the fuck that is.
I'm going to be honest with you.
I don't know if it was injury. I think it was...
Health issue?
A health issue that
if
they
he
never
actually
really...
did, I hope he's better.
I hope so too. Like, I don't know the guy's history and how he is,
but it just seems like a story dispute.
It does. And character wise, do you guys want to see the Fiend back? I feel like we're just going backwards.
No, he said he was burnt. He's dead. There's no reason to have him back. In
the storyline, yes, Randy Orton burned him, right?
But it's not like the Undertaker. I mean, what is the Fiend gonna do? Just his hand's gonna raise through the apron.
He did do that actually.
That is true.
He actually did do that.
He actually came because I remember that way he cut it, right? He cut the apron, right?
Remember
that him?
Remember he had two versions of the Fiend where he was all melted. And
that was after Randy Orton burned him, and that's when he came back.
I mean, it's cool merchandise. Do it for a month or two, and then I think that Halloween needs to go away. Yeah, it kind of, and I mean this respectfully. I think he has a really great mind for the business, but sometimes his characters give me B-movie horror vibes. Where it's not that great, but it's almost so bad that you like it.
Yeah.
Right?
It becomes a it becomes a what do they call those movies? Cult classics?
Cult classics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you appreciate it later on in life.
Yeah, like that.
And some of them are so bad that they're good.
That alien clown movie, you guys know what I'm talking? Killer Clowns?
Killer Clowns.
Yeah.
They had like 5 sequels to that?
I don't know.
I've only seen the first.
I'm surprised you know that was from the 80s.
That's from the 80s,
That was a long time ago.
80s horror is my shit. You guys see this Halloween 2 thing. You guys see the Back to the Future. I know it's not a horror movie.
Halloween 2.
It could be. I mean, he wanted it. The mom wanted him. It's kind of a horror movie, but it's not.
Technically Halloween 3.
80s are the best movies. I'll say that.
Technically Halloween 3. Halloween 2 was actually Season of the Witch.
And I won't get into all my siblings.
That movie sucked.
All my siblings were older than me, so
it was terrible.
Halloween 3?
No, I said technically. If we want to go in order, technically Halloween 2 is Halloween 3 because Halloween 2 is actually Halloween Season of the Witch, and it was supposed to be Halloween started off as an anthology series, but Michael Myers killed it so greatly that first movie no one wanted to see anything else.
Yeah, kind of what they're doing on Netflix now with like the different Halloween horror movies,
or like American Horror Story. That's how Halloween was supposed to be, and then they tried it, didn't work, and I'm glad they went with what worked.
The witch one was kind of creepy.
It was very creepy.
It was fucking weird. It was like off-putting.
You put the mask on and that song's playing on the TV, and you're watching and those worms and shit come out and it kills you.
It was off-putting, but I liked it. But I don't. I hate it.
I watched it one time. I was like, where's Michael Myers?
I only watched that movie. Well,
I'm
that's
like,
the problem.
They said the fans were confused.
Everyone was in the movie theater highly confused. Like, where is Michael Myers?
You can't make that a 3, then in the late 80s make 4 and 5 with Michael Myers back in the movie. Like,
well, Season of the Witch isn't canon. It don't exist.
I mean, just like
Thank
the new Scream movies. You know, now Billy has a daughter. That makes sense.
Well,
I mean, he couldn't have.
Sense.
He couldn't have.
I mean, he could have got. It's the 90s. He could have got somebody.
Don't start with me.
He could have got somebody.
Cordell,
He could have got somebody knocked up.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Literally,
I guess,
Billy's kid would be 27 years old by now.
And in the 90s,
like almost 30.
And in the 90s, those teen heartthrobs were known for having babies and not telling the dad.
True. I mean, yes, it makes sense, but
you know what I mean.
It's a curveball nobody asked for, is what I mean.
Okay,
right? That's what I mean.
That movie made a lot of money. It worked.
It's a decent movie. I don't mind it. I didn't like them in the first one. The second one, they were better.
No, because in the first one we didn't really get to know them like that. The second one,
I
literally was like, I hope
here.
The first one's
I like
the
how they
best
switched the knife and the gun. I don't know. It was in.
I guess
it was like they switched. A bloody white T-shirt.
You weren't supposed to stab me that hard.
No, didn't they do that in the fourth one too? The fifth one. Fourth one.
They
fourth
did it in the fourth one. You know what? The fourth one is very underrated. We should cut this out, but the fourth one is very underrated.
No, we'll keep it in.
The fourth one is very underrated because I
didn't like it.
Jill Roberts, she actually did a really good job.
Who?
Jill Roberts.
Jill?
What's her name?
I don't think it's Jill
I don't know.
Roberts.
You're asking me, man. You're the movie connoisseur over here, man.
Is it Jill Roberts? No, her name was Jill in the movie.
I'm not sure.
Roberts.
Emma Roberts.
Emma Roberts.
Emma Roberts.
Emma
Roberts.
And then Hayden
and it's funny
returned as a FBI
because she's Julia Roberts' niece. I keep forgetting that.
Right.
Yeah.
No, I think it was a good movie.
That one?
Anyway, I know. Anyway.
Okay.
So I already talked about JD and Ziggler. Do you guys think this should at least continue, in your opinion? This whole thing. I want them to have a feud.
Oh, JD, McDonough, and Ziggler?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, sure. Why not? I'm down for that. I think. Thank God. I mean, JD when JD is not feuding with the Miz, but
I see that.
I kind of looked at you and I was just like.
Honestly, man, I think sometimes I forget that Ziggler's even on the roster.
Has he reached that point?
He reached that point. I'm like, oh yeah, Ziggler's still here.
He's a dirty dog.
Man, wow.
Root is
anything good for Ziggler, I'm down for. He's always been a good worker.
Mm-hmm.
He's becoming old faithful.
He's old faithful, man. You want a good match, just throw Ziggler out there.
I mean, you know what he says in interviews, man. He always talks about he sells so good that it actually hurt his career because everybody wanted. Vince was like, Ziggler, you're gonna take this move tonight. You're gonna lose. You're such a good seller. You know what I'm saying? And then he would just lose everything.
He realized his role. And he's accepted that. It's been a long time.
He's going to be a Hall of Famer.
He's a Hall of Famer. No, he's definitely a Hall of Famer. And then not only that, you can't sit here and say he's had a bad career.
He hasn't. No.
And just to wrap up here, the only thing I wanted to say, you guys can add in anything if you want, but the only thing I had left to say was Cody Rhodes, Lesnar. What are we thinking about this? Because obviously it's continuing. I know we all don't really like it, but how can they make it better? Why is this going on? Should this have ended? Do you think this is okay for the third? Because off the cuff here, Neal and I had a phone conversation, remember? And I said, why are they having a third match at some pay-per-view Money in the Bank? That makes no sense. And then you said, no, it's going to be in London, a big arena. It makes sense. And I said,
it's a big deal.
And you sold it to me. You sold it. And I said, all right.
International crowd. They're going to eat Lesnar up. They're going to eat Cody up.
Sometimes you got to think business-wise.
It's not going to be in some random who gives a shit town. It's going to be. It's actually a big deal. So, of course, they're going to try it.
On Wednesday Night Walker here, I said, I don't think they're going to have a third match at Money in the Bank because that makes no sense. So I think Cody Rhodes is going to beat him for a second time. He obviously didn't. And then when you said the London thing, I said, okay, I guess this makes sense. So
they haven't addressed it yet, though.
How do we make this any better? I mean, they're probably going to, right?
They have to address it, and I think Cody Rhodes, he's got to vanquish this Brock Lesnar thing ASAP if he wants to finish his story that it seems like he's never going to finish to get back to Roman Reigns, because we're all hoping that Cody's going to end up facing Roman Reigns at SummerSlam, but he's really... I can't see the path to Roman now because he has to get in a Money in the Bank match to get the briefcase to face Roman Reigns. I don't think that's going to happen. And then on top of that, he still has this Lesnar thing he needs to vanquish. And now they have to set up another match, which would be Money in the Bank. Or if you push that match to SummerSlam, that means he's not going to face Roman, and then he end up facing Roman later on. Then what's the next one after that? Survivor Series? Nah, they're not going to put Cody versus Roman at Survivor Series, because SummerSlam's the second, I guess if you want to count Royal Rumble, the third biggest pay-per-view of the year. So it's really hard to say. I want this thing to end with Lesnar ASAP. I don't know what kind of match it's going to be. Cody passed out. I don't know if they're going to have a submission match or something. It's got to be a specialty kind of match, because I do not want to see another another one-on-one straight-up match. It just can't be that way. Yeah. Brock Lesnar, he's got to be done with Cody Rhodes, and then this is the adversity that everybody wanted Cody to go with, but I'm going in the opposite direction. I find Cody Rhodes to be kind of insufferable right now. He comes out in his promos and he says absolutely nothing.
I think what you said was bitching and complaining, right?
Yeah, man.
Let me just pull that quote.
No,
but I agree.
This 100%. Cody Rhodes, I do not like. I think he's being booked to shit. He's still a fan favorite. People still love him. People still want to see him win and be successful, as do I. But this Brock Lesnar thing, man, I just not digging it since day one. How does it end? Honestly, man, I don't really give a shit as long as it ends. As long as it ends. That's
Isn't
what
it
I
funny,
want.
The two most patriotic people that we've talked about, Lacey and Rhodes, are the two most whiniest motherfuckers that we've gotten on the show too. It's weird, right?
It's a little bit, yeah.
I'm not thinking into it. I'm not saying anything about it. Just saying it's
sure.
weird.
Cody Rhodes.
Fun when you connect the dots, you know? It's fun.
Yeah.
But, okay, so what we're saying, jokes aside, what we're saying is Cody Rhodes is going to beat Brock Lesnar, right?
Yes.
And then he is going to defeat Roman Reigns at SummerSlam on August 5th. That's what we're saying? He's going to be the new... I gotta take a deep breath for this one. WWE Universal Undisputed Champion of the World, right? Is that...
A couple months ago, I would have said yes, but right now, it doesn't look like Roman's going to lose that belt anytime soon.
You think Roman is going to win at SummerSlam against Cody or anybody?
Yes.
You think he's going to... Oh, my God. When do you think Roman's going to lose?
Next year.
The way they're booking this, man...
Don't even tell me Mania next year.
Mania.
WrestleMania 40?
They want him to break Hogan's record. They do.
Will he break it by WrestleMania?
No, it'd be next September of 2024.
25. Oh, 4?
Yeah, 2024. So actually, you'd have to have longer.
So are we just going to put this podcast on hold till then? Because I don't know if I can talk about him every week. You know, this is a lot.
Yeah.
Is this going to become an AEW podcast? I think so, right?
It should be. It should be.
AEW Fight Forever. Are you going to get it?
Yes, I am.
You going to get it? He don't play games.
He doesn't have a console.
I don't like playing those games. I have better things to do.
What are you saying? It's not important?
Not to me.
Roman Reigns, we're back on track with the Bloodline storyline, and there you go.
You know what they say? He must be a painter because he's a draw. I'm going to go now.
Wow.
Hey, you can find me at 99 Dean Walker on all of your social medias.
My finger is so interesting right now.
Cordell is at Cordell Ponson.
Yeah, listen. Yeah, Cordell, where can we find you at? DMs all the way, right?
You can find me here next week.
All right,
on the podcast.
Yes.
And then Neal, if you want to reach him for some reason,
Twitter
he's at Twitter Pod Marking Out.
Yes. Hey, shout out to Trish. Like the picture. Hey, shout out to Britt Baker. Thank you.
What was it, 500 likes now?
Almost 600.
Damn.
It's almost 600 likes. I'm just saying.
Y'all better all subscribe to the podcast as well.
Yes.
I hope you saw that picture and said, now, who are these wonderful gentlemen in this picture?
Who are these?
You clicked on the profile picture and said, wow, they're a podcast?
Yeah, right.
Wonderful gentlemen.
Wonderful gentlemen.
Wonderful gents. Yes.
Who's that Dean guy in the center?
All right, that's the show. We're out. I'm Neal Pretty Boy Thomas. That's the show. Bye-bye.
See you.